Hello everyone, I'm going to make a video based on some updates, and Happy New Year if I haven't said it already. And I'm taking a different approach of making videos because I realized that when I was learning Japanese, when I was learning, my second language, the way that I learned was basically I'd watch videos and I would hear something that I thought was cool, so interesting, or maybe interesting word. I would diligently, either there was subtitles already on there or whatever that would tell me what that person was saying, or it would be something I just caught. I heard of it, and because I heard of it and I thought it was cool, I said, hey, maybe I could use that in a conversation. So I decided to, instead of just making videos that are just, here's this word and focus on this word, I'm just going to do basically a podcast podcast, or more just me just like speaking freehand. Today I want to do that and tell you guys about some exciting news and some stuff that I feel like that is finally working. So the first thing that I want to talk about is that the language exchange. The language exchange I keep pushing over and over and over again to get people in and have this conversation, right? And I always had this problem trying to get that thing to work. So I think I figured out a way of getting it to be more of a community thing. Before, I had it in a way where it's just like I just put it out in a group, and if people liked what I was saying, they would just join. But now I think I set it up in a way where it's a poll where people who agree to wanting to have a language exchange would agree to it, and everyone would see that everyone has interest in joining the language exchange, which has been working out so far. Like I haven't gotten so many, this many responses, to join, and people filling out the Google forms and signing up to my website, which is great. It's all good beans, right? So I'm very excited for that. There's exchange that's going to happen on the 25th, and I've been pushing for, and I can see you all there, right? So specifically what I'm going to talk about today, is basically how to learn a language, or basically how I learned, language, whatever, and the way I think when I, study another language, right? And I want to reflect on Kengo Hitomi, his, from doing the lessons with him, with students and people who I can clearly see that they are very focused in getting English pronunciation correct. So I really appreciate being in a class, and I really appreciate that I can feel myself as a teacher in the sense of making sure the English pronunciation is correct. I really do believe Kengo's pronunciation is good. It's almost kind of like he sounds like an announcer, if anything, So I really think that, these type of people I wish I met when I was on my language journey, learning Japanese, or if I could meet this person, and even actually just to be my teacher, like a Japanese teacher, because I never had a Japanese teacher ever. I've just learned Japanese on my own, right? So I'm coming from a perspective where I understand discipline, I understand determination, understand the key components of what I need to do every day in order to build, a state of fluency, a good amount of fluency in another language, right? And through trial and error, which I've done a lot of trial and error, I've succeeded, and I've gotten jobs with using another language, and it's been very rewarding for me. And one of those journeys where it's just like, it makes you change the way you think about the world, and I really do believe that, for Japanese people, it's probably the same thing too. It's the same feeling where, you're making a difference in another language. You're having it's like you have a different life, if that makes any sense. It is pretty much a different life because you're adapting to a new culture, you're adapting to a new way of thinking, how people are offended in each different culture. You kind of get to understand a little bit more about sensitivity in different languages, right? And what is offensive, what is not offensive. And I think that really a beautiful thing when you finally, can be fluent, you can have a real conversation with someone is from a completely different walk of life. So this is why I really love, language exchanges, and like I love, talking to people. But because, I'm a person that I'm very solo driven with my goals, where I don't like talking about what I have to cook up, if that makes any sense. I don't really get energy from other people cheering me on. In a sense, I get energy where I've completed something, and then like I show the world where, in a sense, that like, oh, I contributed to something. That's where I get I drive my energy from. And teaching people the right pronunciation, or teaching people expressions as I do on my website, I feel something. I feel like I did something for other people. I've made a small increment difference in someone else's life. So with this new idea I have for New Year, and more of a way for me to put out more videos, because I've been slacking on videos because I've just been spinning my wheels on trying to, put out something that like, oh, will this help someone? Is this interesting? I keep thinking about that over and over again, and I've been jumping from different, platform to platform to see what is the right, way or method to, give the right entertainment, or the right edutainment, as they say, education that is entertainment, and I want to simplify everything and just make it just straight, you guys probably want to know who I am and who am I about, whatever, not this guy on the internet, whatever. And I'm pretty serious about language learning, and I want to talk about several different topics that probably are really difficult, really difficult for maybe a language learner or something like that. But if someone who is very keen on learning difficult words or difficult vocabulary or whatever, I think you would probably enjoy these videos, because I'm very, I would say very philosophical, and I'm very how do you say, I like to give a lot of constructive, criticism, and I'm very a problem solver type of person, so I will talk about stuff that is just like very, very practical. That makes sense. Actually, there's a better way of saying it, practical. I'm a very practical person, right? And I think there's some key topics that I talk about that I think that a lot of us could sympathize with or connect with better, rather than me just making some type of like, oh, this is how you say this or whatever, and having the context of whatever expression in video. If you say like this, like a Tweety bird or whatever, right? And when I mean Tweety bird, as in a parrot that says it as is, that's not, I don't feel like that's the type of language learning that I did when I was younger, right? And in the future as well too, if I think I will continue learning Mandarin and other languages in the future. So yeah, if you like this type of content and you want more of it, I'm thinking of having this translated into Japanese, and I will make another version with English subtitles on top of it. So it's like one by one, you can just take the transcript and then just study it. Like make your own flashcard system, and you can just study it. Right? I think that's the best way of doing that. And also, just to clean things up, whatever, or wrap things up. There's a better way of saying it, wrap things up. I figured out a way to get people who are very good at either Japanese or English as their second language to do interviews with. as I did with Kengo Hitomi, right? And I really loved, to tell you the truth, I really loved his interview a lot because he reminded me a lot about myself, and it's kind of like the level of determination of, regardless of what resources you have, he became resourceful, and I had to become so resourceful with learning Japanese, right? So in his days, it was like even less resources than I had in my days, right? So being able to talk to him and being able to see how he does things, whatever, as a teacher, I'm coming from basically as a translator, or self-taught translator, whatever, going into translation, and I appreciate the friendship. I appreciate what we're doing, and I hope we can help even more people. Alright, so with that being said, I look forward to more interviews. I have a form that I have, maybe I'll put it in the description. If you're a person who's really good at English or in Japanese, fill out that form. And also, if you want to join the language exchange, that should be weekly, yeah, feel free to join that too. And I hope I can help you, as much as I can. Well, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.